When you think about Canada and its ruling class, yeah, we have a ruling class. It's difficult to identify sometimes, but you can always tell who's in charge by who's in the position of power and authority. And when you think about that and think about Rahim Jaffer, questions come to mind. In regard to Rahim Jaffer, what happened to the cocaine? Was there really cocaine in his car? Why wasn't there a prosecution? What happened to the evidence? Is there some reason why the conviction was not possible or not even arguable? We don't get to know these things. Was there alcohol? Was there a breathalyzer test? What was the reading? How many minutes apart were the readings taken? If this was a case that I was defending, I'd be interested to know the answers to these questions, but we, the public, don't ever get to know. We just find out that a prosecutor decided that it isn't going to be prosecutable. Well, I've heard that a few times, and I've always wondered why, and we in Canada are never allowed to know. And the same with Helena Gurgis. I'd like to know what motivates the authorities not to prosecute people when they do things that are contrary to the security regulations. But that's only a small tip of the iceberg. We have Jean-Pierre Blackburn and his attempt recently to bring some tequila on board a plane. People like this are in the upper class of Canada. It's the typical Ottawa mentality. Once you're in Ottawa, you're a separate and distinct person, and you have special status. And it really doesn't matter how many lies you have to tell to get there. When I say that, let me remember and let me remind you of a few people who got there when things were very, very questionable about what they did. I mean, Jean Chrétien and the Grand Mère Hotel. And the people who blow the whistle end up getting in trouble. And the same with Brian Mulroney and the $300,000 or so that went to Karl-Heinz Schreiber. Karl-Heinz Schreiber goes to jail. Brian Mulroney lives in Florida and, of course, is the sort of grand old man of Canadian politics. What I'm trying to get at is that this type of collection of people in power is a result of the corrupt nature of Canadian politics. It's not something that exists because of the individuals. The individuals are a product of the system. And the system is inherently corrupt because it gives power basically to Upper Canada. Upper Canada is a state of mind, not a geographical location. It is Ontario, and Ontario with Quebec runs the country. And that's why Western Canada cannot achieve fair and democratic representation in a system where we do not have a voice. And actually this would be tolerable and bearable if they were a group of noble individuals serving the country altruistically and not basically running around with cocaine in their cars and finding that they pay a $500 fine for the privilege. That type of attitude is what Canada's all about. We all know it. We're sick of it. We're tired of it. And we know that nothing will ever change. And that's why I'm a Western separatist. That's why you could be a Western separatist and build a true, free, democratic, prosperous nation of Western Canada which had referendum, initiative, and recall, and where politicians would have to take and behave like the noble individuals they should be. They would have to serve the people of Western Canada because we could remove them between elections, and the political parties would not have the power they do when referendum, initiative, and recall was available at all times to the people. So for these reasons, for the corruption that I've pointed to, for the things about Canada that are not changeable, I say we must free the West. Thank you.